Good evening, Periscope. How are we doing? You know, I love doing this on my iPad. It's so much easier. The buttons are just bloody massive. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Motivation and Mind Hacks on this beautiful Monday evening. Who's this? Heal P-H-I-U. Good evening. Let us know where you're viewing from. Fanny's here. Anna's here. I'm going to give people a few minutes to join, as always. For those who are brand new to this scope and me and have never seen me before, Sasha, good evening. My name's Ross. I'm an actor and I'm a voiceover artist from Manchester in the UK. Good evening, Nina. Scope twice a week, once on a Monday, which is tonight. We do something called Motivation and Mind Hacks, things that are going to motivate you and enable you to hack your mind to get further in your life and your career faster. Although I'm an actor and a lot of people on the scope are going to be actors as well, we don't talk exclusively about the acting industry, but a lot of this stuff relates to all walks of life. Hey Ross, hope you're having a good night. I am, thank you Sasha, thanks for asking. Cheeky Peaky's here, someone else just joined. And then on a Wednesday night, guys, we do book club. Dylan, good evening. Good evening, trying super hard to stay awake, says Anna. Sam, stay awake. Anna, stay awake. Yeah, good evening. On a Wednesday we do book club, okay? And actually tonight's scope, it's not a book club scope because I've not got the book yet. I've only just ordered it, but it's fueled by something that somebody sent me today to look at, which is a book. But I'm super excited about this. It just all made loads of sense. I was like, wow, this is great. For those who haven't seen the Facebook Live thing I just did a minute ago, if you're not part of the Facebook group, it's a book called The Happiness Advantage by a guy called, I don't know how you pronounce his surname, Sean Achor or Achor. It's A-C-H-O-R. Let me know phonetically how you would say that. But it's 7 basically science-backed principles that have been proven by Harvard University to increase happiness, which ultimately increases motivation, which ultimately increases productivity, which ultimately increases success. And I want to talk about 3 things tonight. Yes, I've read this, says Fanny. Brilliant. Well, I'm going to probably do it for book club for this month because we missed Wednesday's book club. I think this might take over because it sounds right up my street, this. Oh my God, love that book. Says GST Thomas Writer. Amazing. Well, this is great that you've read the book because I haven't, but it sounds absolutely amazing. And I've got a little challenge at the end of this as well. I want to talk about 3 things from the book that I've kind of just looked at from reading articles about it today. And then I want to do a little challenge for everybody at the end for this week. And you can post in the Facebook group. If you're not part of the Facebook group yet, by the way, and you are an actor, you don't have to be. I mean, it's a Facebook group all about acting, but I guess you could come and join it anyway. You go to facebook.com/groups/act on this TV and make sure you've got a place there. Not another video, is it? What do you mean, Fanny? Not another video, is it? How do you mean? But yeah, so let's talk about this then. So for those who have, but not another video challenge, no. So I did ask people to post video intros in the Facebook group, and it's amazing to see people do that, which is great. Now this is 5 things I want you to do that are going to that'll really impact your life in all areas. Oh, I'm a director. Awesome. Well, this will apply. Get yourself in the group if you're a director. It'll also apply to you, and you might find some great actors to work in your stuff, which is cool. What I want to start with, I bang on about this all the time, and we all bang on about this. It's kind of become a bit cliched in personal development. This whole gratitude thing, okay? It's something that I make sure I kind of actively practice, have done now for a couple of years. And it's something that definitely has changed my outlook on life in terms of literally pre-programming or reprogramming your brain to be happier, to appreciate more, not to slide to that negativity bias that we all seem to slide to from time to time. Well, we are naturally, that's kind of pre-programmed into our brain. And the book talks about gratitude as one of the 5 things in your life that you can scientifically prove increases people's happiness. And literally, basically it says, look, if you practice gratitude for 21 days on the bounce, then you will actually create, new synapses within your brain, new neurotransmitters, new electrical impulses within your brain that will change the way you think. Literally, you can see it on MRI scans where you will see parts of people's brains becoming thicker, almost like they're being used like a muscle. It's proven, which I love because it's not all this woo-woo, let's just hope it works. It's actually proven. So what I want to ask, first of all, because we've never done this, we talk about it, but then I never ask anybody what you're actually grateful for in your life right now. So in order to kind of hit this home a little bit, I'd like you to give me at least one thing type it in now that you've got in your life right now that you're grateful for tonight. It doesn't have to be a massive thing, but you know, for me, you guys literally spending time watching me is something to be grateful for. It might be something that you've just seen on TV, a phone call you've just had with a friend, it could be a meal you've just eaten. It doesn't have to be massive, but let me know what it is in your life right now, because this is going to kickstart you for the challenge that I'm going to put you on at the end. So Anna says, my kids. What did you say there, Sam? Flexibility, as in what? In your life, as in like work-life balance, work, friends, and Periscope. Excellent work. Health, grateful that I have supportive people around me. Me, heal for you, says me. Good. You've got to be grateful for yourself. Absolutely. So Sam says, yeah, flexibility. Health, says Nina. Health's a massive one, guys. I just watched, for those who aren't in the UK, I just watched a program. It's 10 p.m. here in the UK, and we had a program here at 9 o'clock called 20. I don't know if it's like 24 hours in like a 999 emergency centre, where they answered all the 999 calls. And oh my God, some of the calls that they get through and they have to listen to, you know, where people have collapsed, they're having heart attacks, and the guys on the phone are trying to talk wives through resuscitating their husbands and all this kind of stuff. Such a roller coaster of emotions watching that. And I came away from that tonight because you hear some horrific calls of people literally trying to resuscitate their daughters and all this kind of stuff. And you're just like, you know what, no matter what is going on, no matter, you know, how much shit you think you've got in your life right now, if you are here and you know, even if you're in pain right now, right, and you can feel that pain, you have got time on the clock to do something about it. You know, I've just listened to phone calls where people have been losing their lives. So health, yeah, is a massive one to always be grateful for. I've got this eye condition with my eyes, which means my eyes are degenerating, unfortunately. It's just the way it is. My retinas have got a bit of an issue. I'm massively grateful every day for my vision, just for what I can see now, because I know what I can see now might not necessarily be what I'll be able to see in 5 years' time, 10 years' time. It's always great to remind yourself of your health. Family, health, and undiscovered opportunities, says Miranda. Good one. Undiscovered opportunities are brilliant. Definitely, yeah, I had a bit of an undiscovered opportunity today. Got a phone call from an actress. And it's funny how Steve Jobs said this, you know, you can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking back. At the time last year, I lost out on an acting gig that I thought was made for me, and I was like, oh, I was gutted about it because it would have been a big launch pad for my career. Didn't get it, okay, but the girl who was going to play the character opposite me got the role. I was auditioning with her. I didn't get the one I went for. She got the one she went for. Ended up getting nominated for a BAFTA this year. She did. Amazing, great actress, well deserved. Phoned me up and was like, Ross, I'm writing this comedy. There's a part in it for you potentially. And I'm like, you know what, maybe our paths were just meant to cross at some stage. You know, you just can't connect those dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking back. And I was like, at the time, I was like, oh, this is a tragedy. Like, I should have got this part. And now you're like, you know what, just hang in there. Something, you never know what's coming, do you? You know, kind of around the corner. So that was the first thing. Yeah, gratitude is a huge part of this. I'm a strong believer in that. I love it when stuff like that happens for people. It's great. Well, you just can't, you know, imagine like, Warren, good evening. There's 7 billion people on the planet that, you know, us right now on Periscope or whatever, coming into contact with each other. The chances of that happening are like slim to none, aren't they really, when you think about it? There's 7 billion of us. For us to cross paths, you know, it's very, very unlikely. That happens quite often, just need to remember when it does. Yeah, exactly. Definitely, remember that. So that you know, the unknown opportunities, Miranda, that you just said is definitely a big one. So yeah, so the first thing I want to talk about was just gratitude. I know we bang on about it all the time, but you know, if you can really remind yourself of that this week, Ruth, good evening, and just moving forward, then it's powerful stuff. You know, it really is powerful stuff. So it's nice to Warren, what are you grateful for? Just give us a little note quick. We've all just been talking about gratitude a little bit, so let us know what you're grateful for. It's always interesting, isn't it? You know what I'd like you to do as well, instead of asking people this week when you meet them, how you doing, how are you, ask them what they're most excited about in their life right now. So much better. I've been doing that for the last few days. You find out so much more about people straight away than you would if you just go, how are you? Oh, I'm all right. Oh, right. Brilliant. Go out and go, you know, oh, amazing to meet you. What's going on in your life right now? What are you most excited about? Boom. Changes everything. Right, next thing, guys, is something called the 5-to-1 ratio, which, again, we'll cover all this in more depth when we do the book club, but this was something that I found really interesting. And this stems from, bear with me, it does relate to your career and your life, but it stems from kind of like marital guidance, this kind of stuff. Mary, good evening. And basically over the years, you know, massive thought leaders in relationships have basically found a bit of a golden ratio for marriages, intimate relationships, you know, in order for them to survive. And it's this. Grateful that I've finished rehearsals early enough to watch some of this Periscope. Well done, Warren. That's what Warren's grateful for. Yeah, and they found this ratio, which is effectively called the 5-to-1 ratio. And what happened is they would sit couples down and they would just observe them. And they discovered that there was a ratio that if they applied to this couple's interactions, they could very quickly and with like insane accuracy figure out whether these couples would stay together on a permanent basis or a long-term basis. It was uncanny how one particular professor could sit down, watch for 10 minutes and go, no, they won't last, or yeah, you know, they will last. And what they found out is effectively for every one negative interaction, you need 5 positive interactions in order to effectively cancel that one negative interaction out. So if Sacha says, whoa, that's crazy, it is. Watch people around you who are in turbulent relationships. Watch whether they are, you know, the way they sit together. Are they, it'll depend on their personality type, but you know, are they leaning into each other? That would be a positive interaction. Leaning away from each other would be a negative interaction. You know, saying, you know, picking out the person's great qualities and go, you know what, I love it when you do that, is obviously a positive interaction, as opposed to picking on, oh, you know what, I hate it when you do that. You know, that would be a negative. You need 5 positives for every one negative one. And I was thinking, you know what, if we take this away from relationships, forget your intimate relationships right now, or your friends or your family, who's the one person that you would want to have the longest relationship with? Who's the one person you ain't really going to ever be able to get rid of, even if you break up with them? Who is it? Tell me, think about it. My son. Okay, well, it could be your son, absolutely. But Mary says myself. Exactly. I thought, you know what, this is yourself. All right. Sam says my mum. Obviously, our nearest and dearest. You ain't going to break up with them, you know, permanently. Fingers crossed. Anyway, but yeah, the one person that, you know, we forget we have a relationship with in our lives is us. So I wanted to kind of bring this up tonight and ask you, how do you think you're doing right now on the golden ratio of 5-to-1? Do you catch yourself through the day going, oh Ross, oh you're not good enough, you did a rubbish job in that audition, or oh, when you said that was bad, or that was bad? Are you then flipping back, you know, and stopping and going, whoa, wait a minute, I need 5 positive interactions with myself right now. I need to pat myself on the back for what I've already done, what I've already achieved, how far I've come, as opposed to how far away I am from where I want to be. Because I don't think that, you know, we do that enough. I do annoy myself sometimes, says Sasha. What a great tool to use you've just taught, says help for you. Yeah, well, I just think it's really, really important, because we often value relationships with other people and what they think of us, sometimes more than we value our own relationship with ourselves and what we think of ourselves. And we're too quick to judge ourselves and be really unkind to ourselves sometimes. So I just wondered if you would give me, you know, a bit of a ballpark figure of where you think you are on that. You know, do you think you really do hit yourself with 5 positives if you've given yourself a negative? Agreed, need to praise myself more, says Ruth. I always try and correct my thoughts when I think something negative. Well, that's brilliant. You know what, and you know, you're super aware if you're at that stage and you can do that. And the more you can do that, the more productive you're going to be, the more motivated you're going to be. Because it's like anything, you know, when you go for, like, when you had a school report at school, Sasha says I was guilty of this on the weekend for the first time in a while. Well, it's good to notice that, Sasha, and that's fine, just acknowledge it. I struggle with compassion for self, says Fanny. Winning at the moment, says Sam. You know, when you're at school, or maybe you've been in a regular job, you might have had an office job. I know a lot of people on here are creatives and they don't work kind of regular jobs. But if you ever had an appraisal at school or in your job, and you went and had, like, you know, your employer or your teacher might give you 10 things that they want to look at, and 9 of them are great, and they're like, you know what, Ruth, you know what, Anna, you're great at this, and they give you 9 amazing points, and then they give you this 1 negative, which is the thing that you focus on when you walk out of the room, because it's not the 9 positives you've just been given, is it? It's the 1 negative thing. And if you take that on board, You need to give yourself 5 positive affirmations from self, not from someone else, in order to cancel that out. Your life is a reflection of how you think. Absolutely, absolutely. You know, without a doubt, it really, really is. So I just thought that's really something for us to be aware of moving forward. That, you know, you need that 5-to-1 ratio of positive interactions. Ruth says she keeps losing me. Maybe your Wi-Fi, Ruth. It's looking pretty good from where I am. But let me know if anybody else is struggling with the connection. Sometimes Periscope has some dodgy moments on it on some evenings. The servers aren't great, but fingers crossed everybody is still with us. It's kind of like when you go to an audition, don't get it, and then think, oh God, and forget how far you've come, says Sasha. Yeah, it is. It's exactly the same thing. So we live in the gap. Remember, I've talked about this before. So we look at the horizon, where we want to be, and it's unachievable because as soon as you hit that horizon, there's going to be another horizon. We bounce from where we are into the gap between where we are and where we want to be. So a lot of people end up chasing the horizon and achieving nothing, feeling very unfulfilled. All you need to do is turn around and look how far you've come. Oh yeah, just as you said, dodgy connection. I lost you for a sec. Oh, okay, well maybe maybe Periscope's hanging a little bit, but fingers crossed. For the replay, I always upload these for the replay as well. So on actonthis.tv, which is the website that I run, I'll upload a replay of this tomorrow. Actonthis.tv. Come check it out. There's over 100 Periscope replays for you to watch on there, plus loads of interviews with famous actors, casting directors, producers, all sorts of stuff on there. If you're in the acting industry, go check it out, Act on This TV. Someone reminded me how far I've come just the other day, says Anna. You must, you really, really must. Sometimes, you know, I think what happens, do you do this? Because I do this sometimes. I create something, I may be in something, I might be in a film, or I create even just an article for the website, or a podcast, or an interview, something like that. And then I put it out there, and instantly, the day that I put it out there, I'm like, right, okay, let's move on to the next thing, and I'm looking for the next thing. And I had to remind myself the other day, someone was like, okay, so what's next for you, Ross? And I was like, no, you know what, we're getting this wrong. What it should be is what's now, okay, what's just happening right now. Let's not focus on exactly what's next. You know, let's just take a little bit of time out to congratulate ourselves on where we are now and how far we have come so far. 5-to-1 sounds good to me. Often have to remember the ratio can be true for success in auditions too. Yeah, absolutely. And the quickest way, that's why I wanted to talk about gratitude at the beginning, the quickest way to give yourself 5 boosts straight away is to give yourself 5 things you're grateful for. It's absolutely physiologically impossible to feel down and grateful at the same time. It takes effort when you're feeling shit to go, what can I be grateful for right now? But I promise you, if you're feeling shit tomorrow or whenever it is, you just go, or maybe right now, give yourself 5 things to be grateful for. Say them out loud. I am grateful for, and then give yourself those 5 things, and I promise you, you will feel better straight away. I think it's because you can be guilty of always wanting to be better, so we always think ahead. Definitely, Sasha. Live in the future and you feel anxious. Absolutely. Yeah. Living in the present is tricky because people often regret the past, they fear the future, but it's important to try and live in the present. That made me smile. I was feeling crap a few minutes ago, says Ruth. Excellent, Ruth. So I'm glad you're feeling a bit better now. But yeah, 5 things you're grateful for, because seriously, if you'd have watched this program I watched tonight, where you're hearing people losing their loved ones on the phone to these ambulance dispatchers, and they're going, she's not breathing, and they're sobbing and crying, and the guy died, and she's like, I just wish I could bring him back. God. Doesn't matter, you know what, the only thing that matters is you're here. It's literally it. The only thing that matters is you are here right now. Can look at the past, but don't stare at it, says Anna. Maybe have a brief look. If it was nice, have a little look, but yeah, don't get too hung up. So the last thing I want to look at, guys, tonight was something else again that's sprung up from this book, and if you've just joined the scope, it's called The Happiness Advantage. It's by a guy called Sean Acor. I'll find out how you say his name, and we're going to be looking at it on Wednesday night coming for this month's book club. I've just ordered it on Amazon. It's about £7 if you want to get it to join in. And it talks a little bit about legacy, and I thought I've never really spoken about legacy that much before, and by legacy I mean like what you're going to be remembered for when you are no longer here. 2 things are very, very definite in this world, aren't they? You are going to come into the world and you are going to leave this world. What you do whilst you are here is up to you. But I think, I don't know, I feel a bit sad sometimes where I'm like, you know what, there's a lot of people who will have died today. And they might have died with no loved ones, you know, no family left, you know, whatever that is. And there's no trace that they were ever on this earth. You know, bar a birth certificate in some register somewhere, and some death certificate in a register somewhere, there's not really a trace that they were here. There's no lasting memory. And I find that really quite sad. And like, I'm not saying that you have to be like, right, I've got to leave an empire and I've got to leave this and that. You might just leave, you know, a few people touched, you know, by greatness that's within you, you know, and that's your legacy. It doesn't have to be like massive epic proportions. But I wondered, like, I wonder what you guys kind of had in mind, genuinely, you know, for what you'd like to be remembered by. It doesn't have to be your career, by any means, nothing like that at all, but I just wondered if you had anything in your heads. Also depends on how you view the afterlife, says Fanny. Yeah, absolutely. Talking about your earthly presence right now. Make sure you get a statue outside Media City, Ross. I would love that. I would love that. Definitely, just me, just like this. Yeah. Yeah, that would be cool. But yeah, you know, for me, it's absolutely like my life changed massively 5 years ago when I started actonthis.tv, the website that I run today, and it was all about, you know, opening up the industry, because the acting industry, because I found it almost impenetrable. As an actor who'd left drama school, I found it very, very difficult. I was like, something needs to change here, and if I don't change it, the likelihood is no one's going to kind of try and change it. So that's what I tried to do, and then, you know, I got more into the personal development stuff, and then more of the coaching stuff. I brought that into the acting industry because it's like, it affects every part of your life, affects every part of your life. So like, if you can be a better rounded person, a more stable person, a more emotionally sound person, you know, you have emotional mastery, then you know, then that's only going to make you a better actor, isn't it? Surely to God, you know, it's got to. If you know, if you're feeling better about yourself, you're more confident, you'll take your health more seriously, you know, you're looking and feeling and performing at your best, you're going to be a better actor. So for me, it was, you know, trying to instill that. Loads of, you know, just impact, positive impact for me is a big key. We will put you in 2 swords next to Steve Coogan. Says Anna, brilliant. I would love that as well. Just basically a massive statue of me next to Alan Partridge like this. That would be great. And so what I mean, Ruth just said that her legacy would be held in the memories of her loved ones, which is great, absolutely. But anyone else got any kind of ideas? You know, I mean, there's 2 types of people in the world, isn't there? I've said this before. There's battery chargers and there's battery drainers. You know, those people who you hang out with and within minutes you're feeling charged and motivated and energized, or those people you hang out with and within minutes you're feeling drained and down and like, oh my God, there's a black cloud over us, because they're always negative, 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 negative. And, you know, I get a bit of flack sometimes from my mates. I put a little quote out on Twitter before going, guys, this positivity shit matters. Positivity shit in like quotations, because people say to me, oh, you're still doing that positivity shit. It's like, seriously, you don't understand how important this positivity shit is, okay? And if you can be a battery charger, then you're going to have more of that positive impact on people, and you'll be remembered as that person who always focused on the good as opposed to always had something bad to say. I like to be known for making change and inspiring people. In what way, Sasha? In what way? You know, in their minds, in their hearts, in their bodies, physicality. I want people to say, Christ, she was a phenomenal actress, says Fanny. Brilliant. Excellent. So yeah, it'll be through your career, which would be great. But yeah, I think when you get clear on kind of, you know, what you'd like to be remembered by, it helps you structure your goals, and, you know, that helps you get clarity on how you're going to, you know, what your next action has to be in order to achieve those. Another smouldering pic I noticed too, Ross. Oh yeah, no, yeah, I put it across a picture Chris Stone took of me having a. You know what was funny? In that picture I put out before that says this positive. Trust me, that positivity shit matters. Through career, to Sasha, I'd love to be the person younger people look at and go, wow, brilliant, that's really cool, inspiring the next generation. Yeah, on that picture, I'm sat at a bar and I'm talking about this positivity shit, and the bartender had just made me a gin cocktail to test because he was having a party that night. He's like, can I test this out on you, mate? I was like, well, I shouldn't really be having a gin in this picture, but yeah, it's quite funny. I use my life story to help others. Give us a little bit of that if you don't mind sharing then. What's your name? I can only see your username, something Thomas Writer or something. Let us know your first name and share a bit of your story if it's inspiring. And definitely come and join the Facebook group as well, so that we can, you know, get to know you a bit better. It's nearly $2,000. Gary, there you go, Gary. Boom. Well, welcome Gary to the group. Yeah, there's a couple of thousand actors in the Facebook group. It could be useful for you if you're a director. Anna says, I want people to realise you can overcome mental health issues. Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know what? I mean, like, I think there's almost kind of like, you know, a stigma attached to the phrase mental health, isn't there? There isn't to physical health, you know, or cardiovascular health, or joint health, or whatever health you might have else in your body. But mental health, people are like, oh, well, that means weirdos and stuff like that. And it's like, it's ridiculous, isn't it? When you say psychology, people respect that a bit more and go, oh, okay then. You know, when I released the mindset program, Bulletproof Actor, you know, people were like, oh, okay, this positivity shit. If I'd have called it Bulletproof Actor Mental Health, people might have took it a bit more seriously, but I don't think we should shy away from mental health as if it's something crazy. We all need to up our game mental health wise. It's really frustrating. Oh, I missed your comment then, Sasha. Sorry, loads came up and they faded away. So yeah, put that again if it was something important. But yeah, you know, there's something I say to everybody as well. You know, people sometimes come to me and they're like, I need help with this, or I need you know, what are your opinions on this? Could you coach me through this? Sometimes there's a little bit of trepidation there, a bit embarrassed, like that they need help mentally or emotionally. And I'm like, you know what? Nobody, and I include myself in this, nobody will go through life as a human being ever and not come across at least one moment in their life, one time, whether that's a day, a week, a month, or years, where they don't need help coping. Okay, it's as simple as that. It's nothing to be ashamed of or to back away from. I just said it was frustrating how people dismiss mental health, so Sasha. Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's something we need to talk about more. Not in like, oh, it's weird and everybody's mental kind of way. I think you should take your mental health as seriously as you do your physical health. I go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week. You know, I spend a lot of my time working out, fueling my body with good stuff. Ultimately, it's exactly the same for up here. You've got to work this out and fuel this with good stuff. Because people think bad habits, Gary agrees, people say, you know, bad habits are eating bad things, smoking, drinking too much, all that bullshit. It's not. The worst habits that we have are habits of thoughts, feelings and emotions. And if you've got addicted to the struggle, good evening Una, and Una's just joined, but I know she's going to be in bed probably half asleep because it's late for her. Biggest lie I tell myself is I can't cope. Absolutely, we all need help sometimes coping, Gary, but you know, if you ask for it, you get that help. Totally, Anna, it's nice, says Sasha. I'm accepting my age now. Life experience has only helped, not hindered my acting for sure. Seriously, guys, I had this conversation with an actress today. The older you get, first of all, the older you are, you know, quit the hang-ups about your age. I need people to be grateful that they are getting older. Getting old is a privilege in this world that so very few people have, you know, the opportunity to do. Okay, so few people get that opportunity to get older. So I celebrate every birthday like, yes, I've done it as another year. You know, triumph. You know, I want to get to 100. It's a massive goal of mine to get to 100 years. So I can get Una's not in bed yet, so I can get a telegram off Kate Middleton, who will hopefully be queen by then. I think she's a very attractive woman. But she won't be by 100, and I'm sure I won't be by 100 either. But yeah, embrace your age, and the older you are in the acting industry, seriously, the less competition you're going to have, because the more people will quit. Una says she's aging like a fine wine. I agree, Una, we all are. Definitely. People will quit because they can't hack it. And that, Gary, it includes you, mate. Directors, you know, for you, I imagine this industry is quite hard as well. It's difficult. You know, anything creative is difficult. People will drop out. The older you get, the less competition you're going to have. And for me, as an actor, as a guy, and I think for a girl as well, some of the best roles in TV happen, you know, a little bit later in life. There's no rush. There's no rush. The more life experience you have, the more you can bring to characters. 100%, 100%. Did having age hang up when I first started listening to your scopes. Now, God, boom. Thanks, Ross, says Mary. Excellent, good work. I'm so grateful to be working still despite every obstacle. Exactly, Ruth, you should applaud yourself for that. Though to be fair, Ross, there are less parts too. I think you get what you look for though, Una, and I've seen a lot of people making noise around there are less parts for women as they get older. People like Juliet Stevenson are coming in, but I still see great parts on TV and in film for women of 40, 50, 60, even 70. However, I think that will change because of the ageing population. Yeah, definitely. You know what? We need people of, you know, of all ages to fill roles. Definitely. I think, you know, if you focus on I want to work in the slick, suave American box set style dramas, then yeah, there probably are parts for younger women, younger guys. But I think, you know, on general, you know, television over here in the UK, there's lots of roles for, you know, for more mature people. And we can create our own work, says Ruth. Definitely. I ain't waiting for it to be handed to me, says Una. Good. So yeah, so legacy was just something that I, you know, I wanted to talk about a little bit. If you've thought about, Una, what would you, in terms of legacy, Una, we spoke about this a little earlier before you joined the scope. What do you see for yourself? What would you want to be remembered by? And is it something that you've thought of? You know, because I think when you realise kind of what that is, and you might not know it necessarily just yet, you can align yourself to your goals and really what you want to achieve a lot more succinctly. For me, it's all about connection. For Ruth tonight, it's all been about her Wi-Fi connection and try to join the scope, helping people to connect to who they are and to others. Yeah, no, absolutely, you know, definitely. And I love what we're doing here, and with the Facebook group, and that's on this community, and the meetups we had in person on Saturday, and we're going to be doing them once a month in Manchester. If you're an actor or director in Manchester, or you can get up north, come and join us. We're at Home Theatre on Deansgate in Manchester. Great theatre on the first Saturday of every month. But yeah, connection is massive. It's a human need, one of like the greatest human needs. We can do that through acting, filmmaking, by helping people to feel their emotions, says Una. Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's great. So too many people are disconnected, says Una. Yeah, I think so, definitely. And it's quite ironic, isn't it, in a world today where we are so connected in terms of we can talk to each other in so many ways, how most people do still walk around with their head down. Feel I'm connected via you to so many people. Excellent, Ruth. Cheers for that. Connection and collaboration, says Gary. That's what causes most of the world's problems. Yeah, no, it does. People don't talk. One thing I've learned about in life from experiencing some pretty negative things sometimes, and I've learned more from my negative experiences by far than my positives, is connection is key. We're not mind readers. If you're not happy about something I'm doing, or I'm not happy about something you're doing, or the way work is, or the way something's going, friendships, work, anything like that, you've got to tell people about it. Because if you don't, how on earth can they change, or how on earth can they know? I learned that the hard way a few years ago. But yeah, communication is key. Even if it's wearing your heart on your sleeve, it's key. When you're connected and not putting up barriers, then you can build trust and collaborate, says Una. Awesome. So guys, the challenge I want to set you, okay? Got a little challenge here. Have you got a pen and paper? Can you write this down? Because I didn't print slides out tonight because I knew I was going to be riffing a little bit. Connections, collaboration. Sounds like I am... Oh, I missed you. I can't read fast enough, Sam. There is great strengths and vulnerability. It's great strengths in vulnerability, Una, yeah, definitely. Have you got a pen and paper? We'll type it for you. Okay, could you type this and put it in the... Mary, don't run off. She's saying challenge, bye. Could you put it in the Facebook group for me? Someone take this upon yourself to go, Ross posted a challenge, and I'd love us all to do it and keep each other posted on whether we can do it. And it's just what I want you to do this week, okay? And these are 5 things that have been scientifically proven by Harvard University, one of the best universities on the planet, to, if done enough, I say, so if you do, ultimately, if you did this, I know if you did these 5 things for 21 days, guys, you change your life. I don't know I mean, I challenge you to do it for 21 days. I'll try and remind you to do it, but you're only going to do it if you want to do it, okay? And these things are going to change, literally are going to rewire parts of your brain. And like I say, you can see this on MRI scans. You will see, you know, synapses being created, electrical signals, parts of your brain being strengthened if you practice these 5 things. So the first one, these are things for the happiness advantage, okay, which will make you more motivated and more successful. The first thing is, and we talked about it at the beginning of this scope, I said it's totally over said, we say it all the time, but I think because of that, maybe we don't take it serious enough and we don't do it, and that is writing down 3 things that you are grateful for every day. Okay, if you can do this for 21 days, the gratitude is the only thing that's been found scientifically on the planet as the quickest way out of a negative mindset, the quickest way out of a shithole. If you are down, depressed, feeling like shit, like nothing is going right for you in your life, you will find 3 things on a daily basis to be grateful for. Even if that's your health, the fact that you've woken up above ground with air in your nostrils, okay, and every day you wake up above ground with air in your nostrils is a great day, believe me. So 3 things, that's the first thing that you are grateful for. I want you to do this on a daily basis. Write down 3 things, okay? Excellent. Thank you, Una. So Una's got that covered. Okay. 2. Next thing, I want you to journal. Who journals? Does anybody journal? Like write a diary. So if 21 days, that's 63 grateful things, Mary says. Yeah, amazing. Okay, I already do this. Good stuff. Excellent. So, right, so I want you to journal about 1 positive experience that you have had during your day as well. So 3 things you're grateful for, and 1, just journal. It honestly be a paragraph about 1 positive experience. And they don't have to be the multi-million-dollar moments. They can be the simplest of things. You might be grateful, you know, 1 positive experience was you walked home 2 miles in the freezing cold rain and you got into a hot shower. That's something that's a positive experience, isn't it? I love that. If I get back after a cold run and I'm frozen to the bone and I get in the shower and it's almost like climbing into bed. So yeah, excellent. Thanks, Una. Una's wrote that. So journal about 1 positive experience each day. So 3 things you're grateful for, 1 positive experience. The next thing is something that I'm massive on and changed my life. Absolutely, I've said it loads of times, I've written articles on it, and that is exercise and a foundation in fitness, effectively. I want you to, if you can, exercise for 30 minutes 3 times over the next week. So exercise for 30 minutes. It only has to be a walk. It could be a workout if you work out properly, you know, in the gym, or whether you work with a personal trainer right now, whatever it is you're doing fitness-wise. But it can be just a walk, or it could be, you know, for you, whatever it is. Even if, you know, for you go, okay, well, you know, for me, it's sitting down in a chair with 2 cans of beans, you know, doing a couple of bicep curls and moving my legs up and down. Whatever you can do, okay? Can you explain the difference between grateful and positive, says Mary? Yeah, so gratitude would be just 3 things that you know, that you've got in your life that you're grateful for in general. So, you know, for me, I might go, you know what, I'm grateful for the impact that I can have on these people on this scope right now. I'm grateful for the phone call that I had today that could lead to, you know, a great acting opportunity. And I'm grateful for my eyesight, because it's something that I don't take for granted. Now, positive experience just kind of layers on top of that. It's something that's very similar, but it's more something that might have, you know, might have been maybe, I don't know, more emotional experience. Maybe you saw a friend for the first time in 10 years or something like that, you know, and you had a positive experience, or you were, you know, you went to an audition and you had a great audition. The casting director said to you, "Great job, Mary." That was, you know, it's a positive experience, and it's a positive interaction between you and somebody else. So it's very similar. But when you're writing about the positive experience, you expand on it. So your grateful things can be just, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for this, and I'm grateful for this. Your positive experience, I want you to go into a bit more detail and journal about it. You know, so write like a couple of paragraphs. You know, today I saw Dave, last time I saw Dave, you know, was when I was at school, we were 20 years old. Oh, I remember that time we went on holiday together in Ibiza, and remember when that happened. It's great to see him doing really well today. We said we would meet up again, you know, in a month's time or whatever. You know, just something that's a really positive interaction you've had with somebody. Una said that's interesting. A lot of positive experiences can seem negative at first. That's interesting. That's totally about a paradigm shift in the way you look at things as well. Yeah, a bit advanced, isn't it? But yeah, that's something you could go, actually, you know what, I saw this as negative, but now I realise I got this from it and this from it, and had I not been through that experience, I wouldn't be, you know, knowledgeable on this. I wouldn't know what to look out for next time. I'm stronger because of it. And so on the positive experience, you're just expanding a bit more, Mary. Third one was exercise. Yes, if you exercise for 30 minutes, 3 times if you can over the next 7 days. What happened in Ibiza? I didn't go Ibiza actually. It was Magaluf. Sam. it was a very messy weekend. I don't do anything like that these days. I think exercise is a massive way to kickstart motivation and pushing your own boundaries, says Gary. It is. I am so much more productive. If I've done my run on a Sunday and I come back, literally for 3 hours afterwards, I'm on fire. I feel like a machine. I'm like, I'm not actually on fire. That would be bad. But I'm like, right, let's get stuck in. It really is. It's a huge foundation for productivity. I got hit on the head by a wooden parasol. So, oh yeah, Una did in Ibiza, yeah. Right, so that was point 3, the exercise. Point 4 is meditation. Now, it sounds hippie a lot, and I thought I'm never going to do meditation when I first read about this a few years ago. I was like, it just sounds like, you know, these kind of proper hippies who just sit around in a teepee all day. Not like that at all. Ultimately, meditation is effectively taking yourself out of the rat race for 10 minutes a day and just listening to yourself, listening to your environment around you, and just taking a break to actually connect with yourself and go, how are you actually feeling right now? Noticing how your body feels, noticing how your mind feels, noticing your thoughts. And there's a great app called Headspace, which everybody uses, and it's just 10 minutes a day. They do something called Take 10. It talks you through a guided meditation for 10 minutes. Very, very effective. Una says there, it's proven to increase brain effectiveness. There's, again, on MRI scans, if you research meditation and its effects, you will see parts of people's brains that are activated through meditation, and they literally, like I say, grow thicker. It's like exercising a muscle. Your brain gets stronger. Dealing, particularly in the emotional side of your brain, with dealing with things. I've been doing Headspace for the last month. Awesome, Warren. What would be interesting, Warren, is if you would, journal a little bit about that. What in the Facebook group? Let us know your experiences of, how it's affected you. I do all these aside from the first one, gratitude. Find that so hard, says Fanny. Well, that's something you just, you realise and you need to work on, Fanny. That's great. All this woo-woo stuff is being explained by science now. Yeah, it is, and that's what got me so fascinated in it, Una, because I'm pretty academic. So when someone can say, Ross, this works, and I go, okay, prove it, and they can show me this stuff scientifically, medically, I'm like, well, I can't dispute that, can I? So I'm going to roll with it, and I've just seen, it's transformed my life, a lot of this stuff. Last thing, my favourite thing of all, the fifth thing. Let us know if you do this one, Fanny. You said you do them all so far by the first one. And that's just a random act of kindness. Okay, so that's that thing. Remember I said, what I will do, I'll make a conscious effort once a week to turn around to the person behind me in Starbucks, because I'm a coffee freak, and I will say, I'm not, guy or girl, don't have to be a good-looking girl or anything like that. It's not a hookup line. I just go, listen, this might sound weird, but I'd love to buy you a coffee, not to have with you. I just want to buy you whatever you are having. It's just something that I do. I don't want or expect anything in return. All I would ask is, if you're comfortable with it, maybe you do this for somebody else later on this week and ask them to do the same. So you're effectively creating a ripple effect that could go on for hundreds, thousands of random acts of kindness if people carry this on and go, you know what, I'm going to do that. And you might just find someone behind you in the queues, not looking great, maybe coming out of the rain, looks like they've just had a bad meeting or whatever it is, and you just change their day. You might change their life. People have been saved from suicide because on the way to, jumping off a bridge, a man has said good morning and acknowledged that they are actually here and they exist. It's powerful shit. Left a £1 in the gym locker for someone else to find last week. Yes, Gary. See, stuff like that. I love it. See, stuff like that is funny. That's what I like. All kinds of stuff. Yeah, free food, says Una. Remember when we were in the cafe on Saturday at the meetup? We got free cake because the cake around the edges in the cafe was a bit dry. They gave it to people for free. Nice, isn't it? Brighten up your day. But yeah, random acts of kindness. What goes around definitely comes around. Definitely. Apart from Anna, who had to pay for her cake, first of all. Sorry about that, Anna. Yeah, you did. So to recap, guys, write these down. Please write these down. If you could, put them in the Facebook group, or I'll put them in the Facebook group in a minute. 1 is write down 3 things that you're grateful for. Okay. 2, journal about 1 positive experience. 3, exercise for 30 minutes 3 times in the next 7 days. 4, meditate for 10 minutes every day if you can. Okay. 5, 1 random act of kindness. You do that as many times as you want, whether it's on a daily basis or over the next 7 days. These are things to do in a week. I want the gratitude thing done every day. Journaling about 1 positive experience every day. Exercise 3 times a week. Meditation every day if you can. I understand people go, oh, I don't have time for that, but it would be interesting if you did. Post it on Facebook group. Excellent work, Ruth. And 5, a random act of kindness. Either 1 in a week or 1 every day, whatever you think you can do. And according to Sean Acor, I don't know how you say his name, I've got to research that, and his book, The Happiness Advantage, and a lot of scientific research done by Harvard University, doing those 5 things will lead to nothing but a happier life for you and everyone else around you, because obviously you affect the people you hang out with. I think challenge should be a 21-day video challenge. Well, that would be pretty amazing, isn't it? If you could. Post whatever you want. I love the interactive nature of Facebook Live now, and the videos people have been posting on the Facebook group are like so entertaining, and it's great to put. Isn't it nice to see actually moving faces and hearing voices, as opposed to only seeing people through headshots on here, little avatars and text. It's great. I feel like I know you guys much better. I hope you feel like you know each other better as well. So yeah, post whatever you want video wise. That's absolutely brilliant. I'm on acts on this page more than Twitter or even my own page, says Fanny. It's great though. I love it. It's what we're doing. We're building a community, of a movement. I said a couple of years ago, I want to set out to create. I think that the acting industry is one bloody negative place a lot of the time. What's your experience, Gary, as a director? Do you direct factual stuff, or do you work with actors? If you work with actors, let us know what your experience of actors is. For me, bar you guys, there's a lot of negativity in this industry, a lot of insecurity, a lot of people being unkind to themselves, feeding their fear of not feeling good enough. Isn't there just, says Fanny? Yeah, there is. And for me, it was like, I want to create a movement, literally, and it's going to be a bit of a revolution because, we're fighting an uphill battle here. But together, I think we can make an impact, and I know we're having an impact. Yep, fiction, really good. Often work with the same actors again too. Okay, I bet that's because you found actors you like, who you can rely on, and are those people to be around. Chris Stone, who I interviewed for an interview, he's a director. I interviewed him for the first episode of Acts on This TV. If you go to actsonthis.tv, it's on the homepage at the moment. His interview is called Getting Ahead by Getting Started. It's all about getting started, really. Stop procrastinating, getting out there and just create something. And he said, I will often cast actors when you get to the point where you've got two actors, one quite talented as talented as each other. That he's like, who do I want to work with? Who's the nice person to have on set? Would you work with someone again if they moaned? Says Una. Gary's website is garythomas.co.uk. People want to check it out. He's just posted that. Go and check out his work. But yeah, I don't know if anyone would want to work with people if they were just moaning all the time. I've been on set sometimes on some pretty big TV things with actors who are pretty big, and I've heard some moaning from them, and I'm like, mate, you're getting 120 grand for 6 weeks work here. Just cheer up. But some of the industry people I have met recently have said really positive people. What Warren? But some of the industry people I have met recently have been. Oh, some people you've met have been really positive people. Yeah. Well, I think do you know what I think it is? For me, bar a couple of people I've come across, I find the higher up the industry you get, the more successful the people are, the nicer they are. And I wonder, are they nice because they've got the success, or have they got the success because they're bloody nice? And I think it could be they've got the success because they're nice. I find it's the people, the bottom feeders, the moaners, the ones who are never going to make it in the industry because they're so shit to be around. They're the ones who will never have success because they're making themselves not have success by just moaning all the time. To be fair, I actually think there's more positivity around. Says who said that? Was that you, Mary? Yeah, I think when you're I think in TV, particularly in my experience, is definitely the higher up you get, the more lovely people are. Like I said, I've seen a couple, but I've probably just caught them on a bad day where they've not been that great. But for me, I don't know, maybe I've just had a skewed kind of view of it. There was just one Facebook group in particular, the one that I was talking about, it's got nearly 20,000 actors in it, and my God, that was the thing for me. It's like, right, something needs to change. Moaners love to have excuses why not to put elbow grease in. Exactly, says Una. Yeah, they do. Definitely. So yes, I'm happy. I think what we're creating is great, guys. So thank you for being a part of it. Appreciate you all for being here. Definitely. So that's it kind of for tonight. We're just riffing out on some of these things. It's not as structured as normal, but I was just like, I got a heads up from Tony Robbins' son, a guy called Jarek, and he's like, check this book out. And I was like, wow, okay, this sounds amazing. This sounds really, really cool. Read it. I was like, I've got to talk to people on the scope about this tonight. So I spoke about those three things. Yeah, rewiring your brain for happiness with gratitude, the 5-to-1 ratio. You've got to have 5 positive interactions for every 1 negative interaction you have with your loved ones, your spouse, your work colleagues, whoever. Be very wary of that, but ultimately be very wary of the negative interactions you have with yourself. For every 1 time you put yourself down, you've got to big yourself up 5 times to cancel it out. Time for bed, says Una. Got to get up early for my miracle morning meditations. It sounds like you're on it. Good luck with that. A Return to Love is a really good book as well, says Gary. Well, we do a book club every Wednesday, Gary, so we do a different book every month, so I'll check that out. Thanks, Ross. I'll watch the catch up for a bit. I've missed. Absolutely, Warren, go check it out. Thanks, everybody. Sleep well. Yeah, the last thing we spoke about tonight was legacy, so think about your legacy. What do you want to be remembered by? Because it's not going to be. You're not going to want to be remembered as being the guy who's always focusing on the negatives and always moaning, always being that negative Nancy. You want to be the person who's always focusing on the good. And one way of doing that is journaling about it and you know, remind yourself what you're grateful for. Awesome. So I'll see you Wednesday night, guys, when I'm going to have a copy of this book. If you want to get it in advance, it's called The Happiness Advantage by Sean, spelt with a W, S-H-A-W-N, and then Acker or Acor, I don't know how you say his name, A-C-H-O-R. Get it on Amazon.co.uk for about £7. I've just bought it. It's coming tomorrow, and I'll let you know what it's like. But I'll see you Wednesday night, 10 p.m. We're going to read the first chapter, and I'll see you in the Facebook group. If you watch on the replay, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Come and join the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Act on This TV. Thanks, Mary. Go get him this week, guys. Best of luck with whatever you're doing, and I will catch up with you soon. Cheers, Nina. Cheers, Una. And everyone else. Catch you soon. I'll see if I can end this gracefully. No, I can't. Can I? Guys, you got me for a little bit longer. This happens every time. Come on, there you go, Periscope. Awesome. Right, take care, guys. Bye for now.